Major Redmond was a shiner, the meanest of them all. He lived up in dark corners where he was a bad outlaw. The revenuers chased him, but they couldn't bring him down. In the shadows of dark corners, he never could be found. I see smoke in dark corners, moonlight in the hills. Someone's cooking mash, you can smell the liquor still. Down by the creek bed, fires are burning bright. They're loading up their wagons with moonshine tonight. In a fight with revenuers, they shot him 13 times, then dragged him down to Greenville, where they tried him for his crime. He got 10 years in prison, but that wouldn't be the end. His friends in high places pardoned all his sins. I see smoke in dark corners, moonlight in the hills. Someone's cooking mash, you can smell the liquor still. Down by the creek bed, fires are burning bright. They're loading up their wagons with moonshine tonight. Was the prince of dark corners, so they offered him a job. They even put his picture on their whiskey jar. The law is sometimes funny, that's just how it went. Paid him to make liquor for the U.S. government. I see smoke in dark corners, moonlight in the hills. Someone's cooking mash, you can smell the liquor still. Down by the creek bed, fires are burning bright. They're loading up their wagons with moonshine tonight. There's a legendary folk hero of the two Carolinas whose name was Major Lewis Redmond. In the years following the Civil War, he became known as the Prince of Dark Corners, the most famous outlaw of his day, rivaling contemporaries Jesse James and Billy the Kid. Born in the mid-1850s to a poor farming family in Swain County, North Carolina, he helped make moonshine as a boy to augment his family's meager income and became an experienced distiller by the age of 21. He managed a bootlegging network that ranged through 3 states, eluded lawmen sent to capture him, and helped poor mountain families pay their taxes so they wouldn't lose their farmland. Eventually he was captured and in the process shot 13 times. He survived his wounds and was tried in federal court in Greenville, South Carolina, and sentenced to 10 years in federal penitentiary. Redmond served only 22 months of the sentence, and through pleas for clemency to President Chester A. Arthur, was pardoned in 1883 and returned to Walhalla, South Carolina. Ironically, he went to work with a government distillery that produced Redmond's hand mash with his image on the whiskey barrel. While not a real major, he did demonstrate an extraordinary ability to organize and lead men, and was truly the Prince of Dark Corners. legend of Major Lewis Redmond continues to live on at Dark Corners Distillery in Greenville, South Carolina. A craft micro distillery, mini museum of Dark Corner moonshine history. From the definitive photograph of Dark Corner moonshiners to the view of the distillery itself, the front entrance ushers you into history. There's not only a massing of memorabilia, handmade mountain crafts, volumes of Dark Corner lore, and authentic 25-gallon copper pot moonshine still, but a bustling retail operation offers an array of distillery promotional items. Sportswear, souvenirs, and even unusual moonshine-infused food mixtures are offered. There's an official tasting area for sampling the legal moonshine and other specialties of the distillery. An ample space to walk around the operating still itself to see and smell the entire process, often while being entertained by bluegrass musicians and singers. But it's the distillation area itself that is all engrossing. You learn both the ingredients and instruments that create the magical process of moonshine making, from the milling stage of grain to the fermentation stage when sugar and yeast are added to make distiller's beer. The beer is heated in a copper pot. The hot steam vapors rise and are directed into a worm coil. This creates condensation that turns the hot steam into liquid, or spirits. This is moonshine made in the aged-old way, and you've witnessed it firsthand. So don't be a stranger. Come visit us in person when you can. And if you can't, visit us online at www.darkcornerdistillery.com.